Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about something that cropped up the day after Donald Trump and Israel dropped bombs on Iran. And people were upset. You know, a lot of people don't want this war at all. You know, we know that this country has had problems with Iran for a long time, but still, people did not want this war. And Donald Trump goes on TV talking about casualties and how that's going to increase. And, of course, that upset a lot of people because it's always the people that are not rich are always the biggest casualties in war. And historically in America, rich people always could pay their way or do what Donald Trump's father did, make up some medical lie about bone spurs so their kids never have to go to war. So they don't have to even experience even the thought of even being drafted or, we know they don't enlist. Rich kids don't enlist, but they don't have to even worry when there's a draft because, somebody in the rich family is going to shell out money so they can get taken off the list and don't have to worry about going anywhere near a war. Well, hashtag send Barron came up 24 hours after the bombing began. And a lot of people started getting on video saying, hey, you want other people's kids to go to war. You want other people's kids to sacrifice their lives. Barron, send Barron. Barron is of age. He can go to war. And some people were bold and said, look, send all of your sons, Donald. Send Don Jr., Eric, and Barron. But the one that really caught on the most out here was send Barron. Even South Park put that hashtag out there. Send Barron. And it's been going around ever since. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody is making a very good point. And, the sad part is it's rich people like Donald Trump that calls all the shots, and everybody else got to make the ultimate sacrifice. And I think people are getting tired of that. So, you're going to hear over the next couple of days because Donald Trump has been very vocal on Truth Social and in the media how the casualties will start increasing. And we know why, because there is going to get to the point where Israel and the US are not going to be able to retaliate because the ammunition will be gone. So, yes, it's going to be a lot of casualties. We're headed towards spring, and do not be shocked if attacks on U.S. soil start increasing. A lot of people feel that man from Senegal that committed the mass shooting recently, they think he is part of what people call sleeper cells here in America. Well, nothing good is going to come from a war. Nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, see, Donald Trump, he can go down in the bunker with his family. If somebody does drop bombs, we'll be the ones stuck above ground dealing with the brunt of it. And rich people like Donald Trump, they'll go down in them dungeons that they had dug out in the ground called their bunkers. And, they will escape anything that's happening above ground because that's what cowards do. So, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
A South Park writer just set up a website to draft Barron Trump to the war in the Middle East with Iran. And I love this. It has gone incredibly viral. It is so funny. It's draftbarrontrump.com, and it says America is strong because its leaders are strong. Trump proves that every day. Naturally, his son Barron is more than ready to defend the country his father so boldly commands. Service is honor, strength is inherited. Dog bless Barron. They also include an About Us section that says this site is dedicated to honoring the strongest and bravest voices in war. When power is projected abroad, it is only right that strength exists at home. If you're looking at proven genes, inherited courage, and unquestionable resolve, look no further than the Trump family. Leadership starts somewhere. And they accompany that paragraph with a photo of Donald Trump asleep right on the website. The website also includes some very real testimonials, such as one from Donald Trump himself. Quote, people come up to me with tears in their eyes and they say, sir, you're the strongest. Send Barron off to war. I've always been strong, very strong, stronger than anyone expected. Some say the strongest ever, and strength matters, believe me. This website was set up by Toby Morton, a South Park writer who has many other websites trolling the Trump administration. This is his latest one, and I think it is truly hilarious. So go check it out, and let's make this draft Barron Trump movement go viral everywhere.
Good morning, TikTok friends. So I just watched a TikTok of this girl who was pretty heated, and I don't blame her, but asking the president when he's sending his son Barron on a plane over to Iran because Trump said there's going to be many American casualties and 70% of Americans are against this. And so this girl thinks that Barron Trump should go over there. Well, all of Trump's sons should go over there and fight. But do you honestly think that's going to happen? Even if there was a draft, Trump got out of it. Trump was a draft dodger. So do you think any of his sons would be anywhere? Do you think they would go? Hell no. Hell no. They would, I don't know. I don't know if Barron had a hangnail, he could get out of it. So, I guarantee you, none of Trump's sons will be going to Iran. I guarantee you, Trump doesn't care about the people he sends over there. He's called our military, our heroes like John McCain and others, losers and suckers. And, for the people who gave their life for our freedom, he's called them losers and suckers. So I don't see how the military, if I was in the military, I would not salute him. I would not salute him. It makes me sick to see the military saluting him. It makes me sick to my stomach. And yeah, when is Barron gonna go over there? Yeah, you're sending all these other poor young men over there who signed up for this and who knows? There could be a draft, and I'm sure, Trump will make it hard. Like everyone will have to go. He won't care if these young men have heel spurs like he had. He's still going to make them go. But I guarantee you, Barron Trump will not be going over there. We all know that. We all know that Trump is for himself and that's it. So he doesn't care about our nation's young men, our military. He doesn't give a shit about them. It's a fact. He's even said it. So we can give up on that. I mean, there's no way Barron Trump would be going to Iran. But you know what? Wasn't Prince William in the military? Or one of them, I think, was, or was it him or was it his brother? I don't know. But and look at these kids from my daughter's BTS, that group. They all had to do time in the military. In some countries, it's mandatory that you do time in the military, but not here unless there is a draft, which in that case, Trump would pick and choose. Of course, none of his people would be going. They would all he'd find an excuse for all of them. All of his family and his good friends. None of them would be going. So after all, Trump is the biggest draft dodger we know. Our president. So I agree with this girl. Yes, I agree. You should send Barron Trump over there. I do agree, but pigs will fly before that happens. I can guarantee you that. So, and a lot of American lives will be lost over there, but Trump doesn't give a shit about that either. So all he cares about is himself. So, we all know that. And everyone else in the military, he's sending the losers and suckers over there. So that's what he says about, people in the military and those who have died in action or been caught or, your president.
I gotta be honest, I love the fact that the number two trending hashtag is send Barron. And people are adding just a lot of photos, and many of them are like AI generated, but I do find them funny, and I just thought I'd share.
A South Park writer just set up a website to draft Barron Trump to the war in the Middle East with Iran. And I love this. It has gone incredibly viral. It is so funny. It's draftbarrontrump.com. And it says, America is strong because its leaders are strong. Trump proves that every day. Naturally, his son Barron is more than ready to defend the country his father so boldly commands. Service is honor. Strength is inherited. Dog bless Barron. They also include an About Us section that says, the site is dedicated to honoring the strongest and bravest voices in war. When power is projected abroad, it is only right that strength exists at home. If you're looking at proven genes, inherited courage, and unquestionable resolve, look no further than the Trump family. Leadership starts somewhere. And they accompany that paragraph with a photo of Donald Trump asleep right on the website. The website also includes some very real testimonials, such as one from Donald Trump himself. Quote, people come up to me with tears in their eyes and they say, sir, you're the strongest. Send Barron off to war. I've always been strong, very strong, stronger than anyone expected. Some say the strongest ever, and strength matters, believe me.
Send Barron was trending just moments after Trump struck Iran, and a website called draftbarron.com launched the same day. It says everything we already knew about Trump's war. The powerful men making deadly decisions aren't the ones who pay for it.
Sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
As Trump is trying to frame American lives lost as necessary, many online are pointing out that his own son likely won't be serving, just like his dad, who notoriously got out of the draft for bone spurs. And that's by design. According to reporting from the New Republic, American military recruitment notably preys upon the most vulnerable populations. 60% of new recruits come from low to middle income households because of concentrated efforts. Recruiters camp out at high schools in these neighborhoods or with high dropout rates, and they entice students with enlistment bonuses, employment prospects, education, healthcare, and housing. But these are things we should be providing automatically instead of using them as bargaining chips to join the military, especially if it means they're put into impulsive conflicts at the whims of men who likely won't be personally affected, wars that most Americans do not support. It's another way the powerful are killing the vulnerable.
on our way to Sunday brunch, and my guy and I were talking about this war that Donald Trump has thrust us in for absolutely no reason. And we were talking about how so many supporters, his supporters, members of MAGA, are saying how strong he is. And my guy had a really good point.
MAGA, you talk about the strength Trump shows by putting us in this war with Iran. You could convince me by showing me that Trump is willing to send his of age son Barron to the front lines instead of just sending your sons. How about that?
MAGA was right. A vote for Harris meant inflation, unemployment, and the cost of living would skyrocket, and we'd be in war with another country within a year. That's funny that MAGA was right, but yet wrong about the elect that would cause all of it. Because right now, those are all the things that we're facing right now. Even though 74 million of people voted for Harris, 77 million bootlickers decided to put him in office. And what have we gotten for it? He's waging war with a country that has no chance of actually beating us, yet he's still putting our children at risk, because politicians that wage war never have to worry about themselves or their children being put into battle. And they seem to be very careless with the lives that they're putting into harm's way, despite the fact that they have no just cause or approval from Congress. Yet you're standing here and accepting and supporting a tangerine twat waffle in the Oval Circus who would rather use war and putting your children's lives at risk rather than allow the files to be released and allow justice to be had to those who have done harm to children, and you're defending it. Right now, we're at war with Iran, who doesn't even have the military budget to stand up to us, but yet are still doing so. And while you are sitting here and accepting and supporting his theory that, you know, the rioters and the people protesting Iran should stand up, he's literally put people in jail or in internment camps here for protesting against him. So how is that possible? Why are you supporting somebody so hypocritical that he is supporting and bolstering protest in Iran, but he is trying to silence, sue, or detain people for protesting in this country? He can't even get this country to be united and flourish and to grow, but yet he's trying to spread democracy to a country that out and out doesn't want it. Why are you staying silent? Why are you supporting the tangerine twat waffle? And why are you allowing him to put your children's lives at risk just to protect him because of the lies that he's trying to hide in those files?
Courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualties.
So Barron's going to be amongst them, yeah? You're going to send your own son? You can't be sending other people's kids. You got to send your own as well, right?
We all know Barron's not going. And, you know, look, Donald Trump wouldn't even go. He had bone spurs, remember? He couldn't fight. He had bone spurs. But, you know, it is funny how everybody immediately put that out there when after Donald Trump had bombed. But at the end of the day, y'all, rich people never send their children. They never do. And this is something I do want to show you briefly. Hold on one second here. Okay, just in case some of you did not see the first casualties, the first 24 hours after Israel and the U.S. bombed Iran. Here are the soldiers that lost their lives.
Get tax expertise without hidden fees. Switch to a turbo.
After this commercial pass.
Pentagon released more information, including photographs of 4 of the 6 U.S. service members that were killed Sunday in Kuwait during this war against Iran. You see there a 35-year-old Captain Cody Cork. He's from Winter Haven, Florida. 42-year-old Sergeant First Class Noah Tegens. He was from Bellevue, Nebraska. 39-year-old Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore. She was from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. 20-year-old Sergeant Declan Cody from West Des Moines, Iowa. All 4 were with an Army Reserve unit based in Iowa. Again, to their family and friends, our deepest condolences. May their memories be a blessing.
Taxes.
Okay, so these are the 4 that fell um, within 24 hours after Israel and the US dropped bombs on Iran. So they were stationed in Kuwait and they got hit, and these are the casualties. Now, since then, they claimed there are 2 more, a total of 6. Don't know much right now about the other 2 that lost their lives. But as you can see, these soldiers, I think the oldest was in their 40s, and the other ones were younger. So that is, you know, look, I know how the United States operate. They do this every single war. The first bunch of casualties, they'll talk about it on the news, they'll show them. You'll see some of the coffins coming back. When it gets to be too much or too many, they'll stop talking about it and they'll stop showing it. And that's exactly what they're going to do this time around. As the bodies start coming back to the US, all of a sudden it's going to drop out of the news and you won't even hear anything about it. You would think there's no more casualties, but there are many. They even did the same thing. If you remember Afghanistan and Iraq, in the beginning, they kept showing you all the casualties, and then all of a sudden it dropped off and they stopped talking about it altogether. But those bodies kept right on coming, even when they weren't talking about it. So, y'all, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and conclude. And I thank you for all of your support. And I thank you for your prayers because I see some people saying they're praying for me and the healing is going well. And, but I still got a ways to go. But I got to get up and still live life no matter what. So, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon and be on the lookout for my upcoming live streams. Shalom, family.